Breaking news! The Philadelphia Eagles are on the radar for free agency, and in the last few hours we received news that left many fans with their hands on their chins. The New England Patriots are making a desperate effort to negotiate for A.J. Brown. Yes, my friends, that's exactly what you heard, and that's what I want to start talking about in today's video. Man, I personally trust Howie Roseman's decisions, but the question is, would he do this crazy thing? I'll tell you everything I've heard. But first, make sure you've already hit the like button. But only do that if you believe Howie Roseman is the best GM we could have. If possible, write something like, "Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's win another Super Bowl." Now let's talk about these rumors involving the Patriots and A.J. Brown. Coach Nick Sirianni made it clear, the Eagles have no reason to consider such an offer. Why would Philadelphia consider parting ways with one of the NFL's best wide receivers, a player they just signed to a massive extension? A.J. Brown has been an absolute force since arriving in Philadelphia, and his connection with Jalen Hurts is undeniable. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, there have been reports of some tension between Brown and Hurts. Even Brown himself has admitted that some of those stories are true, but he also explained why. They're both fierce competitors. They push each other to be great, and sometimes that means a little friction. But after winning the Super Bowl together, their on-field embrace said it all. This is a duo built to dominate, not to be torn apart. Yet here come the Patriots, knocking on every door, desperate to land a true wide receiver, one for their young quarterback, Drake May. They reportedly even called Philadelphia to ask if Brown was available. What did the Eagles say? Probably something like, "Nice try." The Eagles are in win-now mode. They have a young core locked up under contract, they just hoisted the Lombardi trophy, and they are built to run it back. Trading Brown would make zero sense no matter how many calls New England makes. And yet, the rumors persist. Some analysts, like Colin Cowherd, have even suggested that the Eagles should move on from Brown, citing his chatty nature and occasional sideline frustrations. But let's be real. This isn't just any wide receiver. A.J. Brown is a game changer, and he's a critical piece of this offense. The idea that the Eagles would willingly let him go is laughable.
But while the A.J. Brown trade speculation seems like nothing more than noise, there's another trade rumor that might have some real legs: Myles Garrett to Philadelphia. Ian Rappaport reports that the Browns are not currently looking to trade Garrett. But could that stance change? Absolutely. If Cleveland gets an offer they can't refuse, they might just pull the trigger. And if the Eagles see a chance to add an elite pass rusher to an already dominant defense, Howie Roseman will be ready. This is the same Roseman who has an obsession with building through the trenches. He values defensive linemen as franchise players, and if he sees a path to acquiring a superstar like Garrett, he will explore it. The financial side would require some maneuvering, maybe letting some in-house free agents walk, maybe making a few tough roster decisions, but the Eagles have the ability to make it work. Now, this is where you come in. Do you want the Eagles to go after Myles Garrett? And what do you think about the Patriots trying to steal A.J. Brown? Let's hear it in the comments. And here's the thing, this isn't just some wild, baseless rumor. Everything coming out of the NFL combined suggests that the Eagles are a real threat to land Myles Garrett. The whispers around league circles indicate that Howie Roseman is always lurking, always ready to strike when an opportunity presents itself. And if the Browns have even the slightest hesitation about committing to a massive extension for a 29-year-old pass rusher, the Eagles could swoop in and make an offer that forces Cleveland's hand. Think about what adding Garrett would mean for this defense. The Eagles already have one of the most disruptive defensive fronts in the league, a unit that absolutely overwhelmed the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They pressured Patrick Mahomes 25 times, racked up 6 sacks, and didn't even need to blitz once. Now imagine inserting Garrett, a true game wrecker, into that mix. It would make Philadelphia's defense even scarier, allowing them to control games, collapse pockets, and create turnover opportunities for their secondary. Of course, this would require some sacrifices. The Eagles have key free agents like Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, and both are expected to command hefty contracts, potentially in the $15 to $20 million range. If Philadelphia lets them walk, that financial flexibility could be redirected toward bringing in Garrett. And then there's the post-June 1 cap relief from the releases of Darius Slay and James Bradbury, which clears about $6.5 million. While that money won't be available immediately, it could be crucial in structuring a future deal for Garrett. Now, Ian Rappaport said he'd be surprised if this trade actually happens. But would you? Because if you followed Howie Roseman's track record, you know he's always working the margins, always looking for that one move that puts the Eagles over the top. And based on what we've been hearing from insiders in Indianapolis, the idea of Garrett in midnight green isn't just a fantasy, it's a real possibility. So now the big question, should the Eagles go all in and make this move? Would you be willing to let some key pieces walk in free agency if it meant bringing in an elite pass rusher like Myles Garrett? And let's not forget about A.J. Brown. The Patriots can call all they want, but Philly holds all the cards. Should the Eagles even pick up the phone? Or is this just another example of teams underestimating Howie Roseman's commitment to keeping this core intact? Sound off in the comments. What's the move, Philly? Garrett to the Eagles, yes or no? A.J. Brown trade talk, legit or just wishful thinking from desperate teams? Let's get the conversation going. And let's be real, this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most pivotal in recent Eagles history. Philadelphia is fresh off a Super Bowl win, but in today's NFL, standing still means falling behind. Every team is trying to catch up. Every contender is looking for that one move that shifts the balance of power. And while some organizations hesitate, the Eagles, they attack, they reload, they stay aggressive. That's why the idea of Howie Roseman pulling off a blockbuster move like trading for Myles Garrett isn't just fun speculation. It's exactly the kind of thing he's built his reputation on. So let's break this down further. If the Eagles make a serious push for Garrett, what would the trade package even look like? Cleveland isn't going to give up an all-pro pass rusher for nothing. We're probably talking about multiple high draft picks, possibly even a player involved. But ask yourself, how many first-round picks actually turn into a guy like Garrett? How many players at his position can single-handedly wreck a game? The answer, very few. The Eagles saw firsthand what an elite pass rush can do to the best quarterbacks in the game. Why not double down on that formula? The counterargument, of course, is that the Eagles already have defensive talent. They could focus those resources elsewhere, maybe at cornerback or linebacker, where they have more immediate needs. But here's the thing. Howie Roseman has always prioritized the trenches. He believes that games are won and lost at the line of scrimmage, and frankly, the track record proves him right. Now, let's not forget about the offensive side of the ball. While rumors swirl about a potential A.J. Brown trade, the reality is that Philly is structured to keep him in place for the long haul. But that doesn't mean this offense is set in stone. Could the Eagles make another unexpected move to bolster their attack? We've already seen names like Saquon Barkley enter the mix. Could there be another surprise addition waiting in the wings? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this time of year so exciting. But one thing is certain, the Eagles are not going to sit back and hope for the best. They are going to be aggressive, they are going to make moves, and they are going to do whatever it takes to stay on top. So now it's your turn, Eagles fans. Do you think Howie Roseman should pull the trigger on a Myles Garrett trade? Should the Eagles stay patient and trust their current core? Or is there one more move out there that could push this team over the edge? And what about A.J. Brown? Are you sick of these rumors? Or do you think there's even least slightest chance something crazy happens? The Eagles are built to dominate, and trading A.J. Brown makes zero sense despite the Patriots' desperation. Meanwhile, whispers about a Myles Garrett trade won't go away. Could Howie Roseman pull off another blockbuster? With Philly in win-now mode, every move matters. Should the Eagles go all in for Garrett or trust their core? Drop your thoughts below. Fly, Eagles, fly.